Welcome to the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine weekly newscast.
Good evening everybody, my name's Dave Sadler from the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. This is our inaugural broadcast, which will be making a weekly show to bring you three of the top stories throughout the world of archaeology and metal detecting. First this week, fit for a king, the Staffordshire Hoard helmet has been recreated. An ancient helmet has been painstakingly recreated nearly a decade on from the discovery of the world's largest collection of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver in a field in Staffordshire. Around a third of the fragments found in the Staffordshire Hoard came from the high-status helmet, and experts have spent the last 18 months reconstructing two versions of it, which are now on display. Thousands of rare fragments, believed to be more than 1,300 years old, were studied in a bid to build a picture of the original helmet. Visitors could now see both helmets in all their glory at Birmingham Museum and Art Gallery and the Potteries Museum and Art Gallery in Stoke. It was almost a decade ago when one man and his metal detector uncovered the world's largest collection of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver metalwork. Terry Hibbett from Burntwood struck gold on farmer Fred Johnston's land near the village of Hammerwich near Lichfield when he unearthed the 3.2 million ancient gold and silver hoard in the summer of 2009. The internationally renowned Staffordshire Hoard, owned by Birmingham and Stoke-on-Trent City Councils, has acquired with donations from the members of the public following a huge campaign led by the Art Fund, the national fundraising charity for art. Now, almost 10 years on, experts have painstakingly studied and recreated part of it, having spent 18 months piecing together a rare helmet using state-of-the-art equipment. Extensive research helped the team identify fragments which belong to the helmet, believed to have been made around 600 to 650 AD. Helmets of this period are thought to be incredibly rare, with just 5 other Anglo-Saxon helmets known, and detail and bold crested design of the helmet is likely to have been an important owner. Two reconstructions of the high-status helmet, which is believed to have been made up of a third of more than 1,300 fragments from the hoard, are now on display. Both of the carefully crafted remodels will now become permanent fixtures at the museum. The show comes after a team of specialist makers from the School of Jewellery at Birmingham City University discovered significant parts of the original helmet, including the steel base, which provided the shape, are missing, and that the surviving part would be too damaged and incomplete to be rejoined. The team led on the fabrication of the precious metal elements of the helmet, laser scanning of the original objects to ensure the replica pieces were as close to the surviving original parts as possible. Other specialists, including Royal Oak Armourer, Gallibaggy Leather, Dracon Heritage and Conservation, and the metalsmith Samantha Chilton, worked collaboratively to bring the helmet to life and were advised by archaeologists. Steel, leather and horsehair elements were recreated, as well as the wood and paste. The scientific analysis of the original were used in its reconstruction. Though it may never possibly be possible to reassemble the original physically, the project explored how the helmet may have been made and what it looked like, enabling archaeologists to understand its construction better, and latest theories about its structure and assembly. And from myself, it's a magnificent piece of work. Having seen the Sutton Hoo helmet in the British Museum, I could really say that this is a fantastic piece of work. And kudos to all involved in this, and I would ask all and sundry to try and pay a visit to the Birmingham or Stoke museums and have a look for yourself. Incredible fragments of chariots have been found at a Celtic burial site, and they're trying to keep it secret. An ancient Celtic chariot burial site discovered in Pembrokeshire has rewritten Welsh history. The incredible site was found by a metal detectorist in a muddy field and is the first of its kind to be found in Western Britain. The find dates back more than 2,000 years and is a fine example of Celtic chariot burial in Wales. After keen metal detectorist Mike Smith discovered the historic find in February, its location has been a closely kept secret by the National Museum of Wales. The find includes bronze bridle fittings, a brooch, part of a harness, 2 chariot wheels, part of a Roman fort and 2 other burials. The burial ritual would have been for a very high-ranking chief, interred alongside the chariot, horses and other valuables. Although buried in the ground for 1,000 years, there are 35 decorative metalwork pieces still with the bright red enamel intact. Due to its rarity, Mike said when he first contacted experts he felt a mixture of disbelief and laughter. Various chariot burials have been found across the UK, mainly in Yorkshire and Scotland, but this is the first of his kind in Wales. He said there's no history of chariots like this in Wales. In June, the National Museum of Wales came down, and the look on their faces were priceless. It has rewritten Welsh history. Mike said he was only able to find the site after weeks of bad weather. The 53-year-old said he had 3 weeks of wet weather, and the only field I could go on it was not waterlogged was this one. I've been on it a dozen times and it's always been hard to dig. If it wasn't for the rain I probably wouldn't have found it. After discovering the first item, Mike initially dismissed it as junk, but after cleaning it with warm water and a toothbrush he realised how important it could be. A metal detectorist for more than 40 years, Mike said he has never had anything of this calibre before. He returned the next day, and after digging only a few inches inside the ground he found more decorative pieces. The chariot appears to be at the centre of described as a large Celtic settlement larger than Castle Henley's, another archaeological site in Pembrokeshire. Further excavation was carried out in June after Mike contacted the National Museum of Wales in Cardiff and the Difford Archaeological Trust. Mike of Milford Haven said, "It's rare to find this in good condition. It's rare to find in any condition." And again, some absolutely fantastic pieces that Mike's discovered there. And interestingly, Mike will be a guest on the All Metal Mode UK podcast, which will be on Thursday the 6th of December at 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. And I'm really looking forward to finding out a little bit more off Mike about that. The big news of the week, and probably for the last few weeks, is the mummy of a 3,000-year-old woman discovered inside an unopened coffin in Egypt. The well-preserved mummy of a woman inside an unopened coffin dating back more than 3,000 years has been unveiled in the southern Egyptian city of Luxor. The sarcophagus was one of 2 found earlier this month by the French-led mission in the northern area of LSF, necropolis on the western banks of the Nile. The first one had been opened earlier and examined by Egyptian antiquities officials, but the unveiling of the second on Saturday was the first time authorities had opened a previously unopened sarcophagus before international media. Egypt's Minister for Antiquities, Khaled Al-Anani, said, "Our sarcophagus was Rishi style, which dates back to the 17th dynasty, which the other sarcophagus was from the 18th dynasty. The 2 tombs were present with their mummies inside. The 18th dynasty dates back to the 13th century BC, a period noted for some of the most well-known pharaohs including Tutankhamun and Ramses II. Located between the royal tombs at the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Kings, the LSSF necropolis is the burial site of nobles and senior officials close to the pharaohs. The tomb belonged to Thor Ichret If, the mummification supervisor of the Temple of Mut in Karnak, according to the ministry. Among the finds in the tombs were 5 coloured masks and around 1,000 Ushabtiabati statues, the miniature figurines of servants to serve the dead in the afterlife. 300 cubic metres of rubble were removed after 5 months to uncover the tomb, which contained coloured ceiling paintings depicting the owner and his family. Egypt has revealed over a dozen ancient discoveries since the beginning of this year. The country hopes these discoveries will brighten its image abroad and revive interest among travellers who once flocked to its iconic pharaonic temples and pyramids, but who have shunned the country since its 2011 political uprising. That's the news from this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. Any feedback would be gratefully accepted. You can find us on Facebook, on our Facebook Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine page, on Twitter, or on YouTube, and hopefully you'll be able to contact us with some feedback and anything you wish to hear in the future. Meanwhile, this is us.
The Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine acts as a hub for information, offering articles from archaeologists, detectorists and other specialists throughout the genre, featuring many links, event info and news articles associated to archaeology and metal detecting. We also offer professional review services and promotion for books, resources, videos, documentaries, gadgets, equipment and much, much more. The magazine is run by the Archaeological and Metal Detecting community for the Archaeological and Metal Detecting community. So come visit us at archmdmag.com, that's archmdmag.com, and check out information from our media section with all the latest content, news from the Archaeology channel, podcasts and the YouTube channels that feature the now legendary Digger Dawn, the Man with the Hat and Archeo Duck, just to name a few. If you would like to offer an article, link or inquire about other services, then pay us a visit at archmdmag.com and drop us a line.